Hey guys, Mike here. Today guys, I wanted to give y'all my perspective and my experience on donating plasma. So this is something I seen maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I started to see the plasma centers popping up all around here, and it was real popular at the beginning. There was a strong stigma that, that's ridiculous, you're hurting your body, you're just selling your body for like $20, this or that. And I really wanted to bring y'all some information. So I went to the plasma center maybe a year ago. It was my first time, and they were giving like $125. So me and a couple friends, we all went up there and made some quick money real fast. I was very paranoid when I was going home from that donation. I was paranoid, and y'all know, if you are into health and all, about when you Google something, basically you always have cancer and you're gonna die like right now. So I was reading the stuff, reading this and that. It was very hard to find any negative information on this procedure. There are some people who have particular instances where they might not be able to do so, but the majority of people can absolutely do this. And not only is it not going to harm you, but it's going to benefit you in certain circumstances. So when you do donate your plasma, they pull your blood out your body, or some blood, and then they return the blood back into you with some liquids. I think it's like saline, which is just basically salt water or whatever. And they're left with the plasma, and then they use this to make immunoglobulin medicines, all kind of stuff. It's probably about 30-40 medicines that they can make, and it's really, really helpful to people who are injured and they need these products, or they're on these prescriptions or whatever. This stuff is basically, the price is partially determined on how many people will donate. There's a lot of mismackery up in the office building probably, but in the end it's supply and demand. So a lot of people need this, and some people, that's why they donate. They donate specifically because of the feel-good thing of it. You're helping out other people. To be honest, I don't really care almost at all. Like, I'm doing it for money, just because I don't have faith in charities and stuff like that. If I want to do good, I go do good. That way I know it's right. I'm not possibly feeding a monster by donating blood and then they sell it, which happens all the time in New York City. Y'all New Yorkers, you should be getting paid for your blood. Ain't no donation stuff, all that crap. And the people that are at the top organizing these, they're taking all y'all. They're just selling the blood and taking y'all's money, so whatever. So after researching a little bit, I was kind of scared. But the more and more research I did, the more and more people I talked to, I started to see that this is a good thing. And the most interesting research that I've seen was that if you do donate plasma, you can have up to a 31 or 33% reduction in PFAS, which are the forever chemicals. Try to think about like rubber and gaskets and things that don't break down. If you threw it out in your yard, if you threw some PFAS in your yard and you threw another a plastic bag next to it, of course the PFAS are going to be there in 100,000 years. They don't break down. They're super duper stable, and that's what you want for water impermeability and waterproofing and all that kind of stuff. So they're a great technology in that form, and they also have a lot of fire extinguishing applications. So there is that, and that, when I read that, it was that was it, and that's the only piece of information that I needed to see. The study was done, I believe, in San Diego with some firefighters, and they had one group who didn't do anything at all. They had one group that donated blood, I think every 6 weeks, I think it was like once every 3 months or so. And the plasma group were donating their plasma and keeping the blood. So then they measured all their PFAs after that, and the PFAs were just shocking. Like I said, it was like 31 or 33% reduction, and that was over a year of regular donations. I believe they donated every 6 weeks for the plasma set of data. So the that's like enough right there. There's also microplastics that's in your plasma, and all kind of plaquing agents and bad things, and they all get removed pretty much when they do this process. They're pulling all of that out of your body, and for men, that's like super good. Women have a period so they can shed their iron, shed their blood, and then it brings their iron into an appropriate range. It brings, all the pollutants and contaminants in their body. They don't build up as much as they will in males, specifically, the blood suspended pollutants, the ones that's in your blood. So I really recommend that you guys do this, and don't be scared. The needle it's really nothing. I mean, it hurts for like 1 second, and then you can just be on your phone or something. If you are going to do this, if you're going to be doing plasma donations, and that's why I wanted to make the video, because I want to help y'all. I want y'all to do it the right way. So, and I know y'all are probably hearing nurses, and you go on Google, and you're so confused, and you're hearing all kind of information. One part about Alta Nutrition is that I want to make everything extremely simple, like super, super simple. And so the best things that you can pretty much do for you donate, starting 2 days out, on the second day, start to drink a little bit more water, add some electrolytes to that. You're going to want to boost your protein up for a little bit, because your proteins that's in your blood will be decreasing, and you don't want it to decrease too much. I believe you want it between 6.0 and 9.0, and I'm like a 8.1 usually. So that protein that you're eating 2 days before the draw, let's say it's bacon, by the time that the draw is happening, you're gonna very well have those nutrients ready to be distributed. Your body's gonna be ready. It's gonna have a little stockpile, and you want it to be proteins, because again, they're snapping proteins out of your body with the plasma exchange. So eat a real strong protein-rich meal. They recommend a lean protein, which I think it would do better if you did lean protein. I'm always against lean protein, but this one, I think that would work a little bit better. Just get your protein ratios really high. Usually I eat fat and protein at maybe a 33 to 66%, or a little bit less than that, because I do eat about 10-15% carbs. I don't drink alcohol, so there's nothing with that. But basically, eat a high protein meal. Go ahead and start drinking you some straight water. Do not drink distilled water. Try to let it be mineral, enriched mineral, whether you go get the drops yourself, which I'm not even a fan of that. But make sure that there's some extra stuff in there. Fiji and Evian are my two favorite for this purpose. And a lot of people say they're real bougie, but I mean, it's high quality. They deserve it. Both of them, they deserve every dollar, because that water is delicious. Whenever I drink it, I feel more hydrated than other water. The only problem is, of course, all the microplastics. So you're drinking spring water, drinking mineral enriched water. You can drink milk also, electrolyte drinks. Milk has potassium and calcium in there, and it also has protein to contribute to your high protein intake you're gonna have to do. Get a decent night's sleep. You don't have to have like the perfect night's sleep of all time. You should be trying to strive to have the best sleep possible though every night, no matter what. But you have to get some rest. You're not gonna go in there being tired. Your heart and your brain, they need time to rest, and a strenuous activity like donating the plasma is a lot of work for them. You're burning, I think, 450 calories when you exchange your plasma just for the procedure. And for skinny people like me, that's a lot of calories. And I know it's proportional somewhat to your weight, but 400 extra calories in a day to me is, I don't know, maybe there goes like a quarter of my day, or 10% of my day, or something like that, or 10% of the calorie outputs I can do in the day. So That's not even counting waking up, taking a shower, going there, and dealing with stuff, and your brain burning because you're answering questions. So really, it's probably like 5, 6, 700 calories. Probably about 600, let's say. So you want to have also you don't want to be super skinny because you have to have enough fat on you to one, insulate your body. You don't want to, if you're real skinny like me, after these donations, you're going to be a little cold. And that's just because your blood cells help to regulate the temperature, and I think it has something to do with the iron in there. It just makes you feel chillier. It prevents your body from working at keeping you within that tight band of temperature. So that's the second day. On the morning of, and this is the day before you donate, on the morning of, make sure that you go do a slight workout. What you're going to want to do is get your VO2 up, your high intensity training. So this is like basketball exercises where they run to one end of the court and run to the other one a couple times. Anything with track, like sprints, 400 meters, 100 meters, just run 400 meters, get your heart up pumping real strong, and then just stop and turn around, go home. It's just important that you get that extra spike in your lungs, in your heart, in your blood, and all that. When you are exuberating yourself out there, your blood vessels will relax and become larger. You'll be able to pump more blood efficiently. You're activating all kind of systems in your body that's dealt with motion, and you just want to basically clear out like plaque or whatever could be there by blowing it out with a strong pull. This is very familiar with people who drive old schools. If you drive an old school car and you don't get it above 35, 40 miles an hour usually, like let's say you live in Queens, New York, and if you don't get it past 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, you'll have a lot of buildup that will form on the engine, on the cylinders and all that, and this is preventable by blowing the motor out, which is just, you got a good stretch of road in front of you, it's safe, it's not raining, go ahead and hit a high mileage in a fast manner, accelerate fast and all that, and make sure you're the only person on the road. So if you go ahead and hit that clear road and then just smash on the pedal and let 5, 6 seconds go by, obviously don't rev your RPMs too high, but you get the gist of it. This is necessary to clean out all the gunk and all that's in the engine. And your heart is basically the same. Your circulatory system, your heart is the muscle that is the pistons that's burning all this energy and creating all this work. And there is damage left over. There's free radicals, there's wear and tear, all these kind of things. The cells are dying, and a lot of times they don't. Most of the time they get off, but it's good to have them purged by a strong, sudden activity. So you're doing this on the day before. Go ahead and do that, and do it in the morning because you want the time to rest and all that. Start to drink a lot of water. The more water you drink on the day before, the less you'll have to drink on the day after. And pound the water to more than your hydration standards. And what this will do, it will get into your veins, it'll get into your heart and all this, and it'll make it softer. It will make sure you're fully saturated, because you don't want to have dry veins and all that kind of stuff. They need to be very lubricated and saturated. So that's it. Another thing is to cut sugar out at least the day before. A lot of the sugar you'll process and won't necessarily be as strong as in your blood if you eat the day before. But if you do eat a bunch of sugar, the draw doesn't go as effective. And this is me breaking off an anecdotal evidence here. But sugar, it makes your blood sticky and it decreases the viscosity of your blood. And that can just, hurt you 1%, 2%, 3%. You want to do all these things so that you get a big number. None of these alone will give you something amazing. And so eat some lean protein, some white meat. I know I hate white meat. I can't stand eating it. I really can't. Any of it. This red meat is just so much better. Or you can have red meat too. You can have a flank steak, iron steak. They got plenty of cuts that are super lean. You can also eat shrimp. Shrimp has an amazing protein ratio for its weight. If you're just trying to get, pure protein. And again, y'all be drinking the milk too, because that has protein, 2 kinds. So you don't eat too much sugar. You got a decent night's sleep. You're pounding an electrolyte drink and a water. And now you're coming up on nighttime. It's a good time to start to practice good sleep methods. Lay your clothes out that you're going to go use tomorrow. Go ahead and back your car where you can just pull out the driveway. Go ahead and make sure your windows are clean. Try to make it as easy as possible for the next day. And the reason, and at nighttime, of course, eat a regular meal. I don't think it's really as important as long as you eat the lean protein beforehand and try to load up the day before that. So your dinner meal, it doesn't have to be as strict. But you're going to want to get to sleep early. Or not early, but you want to get 8 hours of good sleep. If you have to take a melatonin to do that, I would advise it. I don't advise taking melatonin long term at all, the same as ashwagandha. But if you do get you a good night's sleep, that'll allow all that stuff you ate to be digested and ready. That will allow your heart to clean up and get ready for the next day, your digestive system, your brain. And then you're going to wake up the next day, and it really makes the experience easy. Like if you're prepared for it, it's nothing really. Because I have ran in there not prepared before, and it sucks. It's going to take longer to draw, it's going to hurt, and it's worse at the end, because not only do you want to make the draw successful, where it's fast and the machine ain't going crazy on you, and you're efficiently, getting the blood in and out. But this is also for your general health. Just after this, your body's going to be hurt. So plan ahead while you are not hurt, basically. Your body needs tons of protein to replace this that is lost. It needs tons of fluid to replace the fluid. And you're going to really see, I guess how women have pregnancy munchies. They crave something particularly when they're pregnant. After these draws, I have an intense desire. I gotta have some beef. I gotta have some red meat. I gotta have a pulley sausage. I gotta have something. So that is a really good sign, because that means your body's working. It's signaling correctly to you. It's low on protein, and it's going to send the hunger activator, and you're going to be real hungry. You're going to have that desire to pound protein. And like I said, with me, it's beef. There's nothing else I can eat after that will be as good. I haven't tried everything on earth, but beef after I draw, it just feels like it replenishes all the B vitamins. It helps to make the blood. It has iron that is contributing back to. It has CoQ10, which will help your heart a lot. Has creatine in there. So it's just a good way to restock your blood, because you need a wide variety of nutrition and a deep amount of nutrition. If, like me, you have, you're in real good health, you're saturated with nutrients. So even when that's stripped, you're going to have to replace that. But it's not just like a little bit like it usually is. You're going to be real surprised at how much food that you're going to have to pound down to kill that hunger. But it just goes to show you how much of food is like waste in our stomach. So if you need to replenish, 30 grams of protein or something like that, or whatever, then that protein needs to be like net protein, like the net result in your body. And so you're going to lose a lot of the percentages on everything. So you need a very bioavailable source, because you've stripped yourself of it when you strip the plasma, and your body's going to take it from other places and put it back into the plasma. So it's regulating itself, and so you got to restock in a couple areas. It's like a deep restocking, I guess you could say. And this, like I said, is going to really surprise you when you look at the volume of food that you're going to have to consume to get back to normal, to just replace what's happened. And also, the creation of all the other more plasma has to be made, and this and that. So you're going to really need a good bit. And guys, again, I'll tell you, you're going to be just shocked at how much you're going to eat. Right now, I drew earlier, so I have right now in front of me a huge Polish sausage. I have a little bit of oatmeal. I know oatmeal is the worst thing on earth to everybody, but whatever. And I got a banana, and I got huge glasses of milk. So I'm gonna pound these milks because it's very affordable. A gallon of milk is less than $2 at Walmart here in the South. There's 16 servings per gallon, and there's 8 grams of protein per serving. So there's like 120 grams of protein, a little bit more than that, in the whole gallon. This isn't as good of a protein source as like eggs and tissuous meat, though. These are casein protein and whey protein. And those two are beasts. Like I said, they're not as good as tissuous meat and all that, but it is great to include that into a blend. The saturated fats and all that will also help restore a lot of damage that was done with the extraction, because it can go anywhere in the body and repair stuff, because your body had to snatch stuff from other places to compensate for this, because it is a little bit of an event for your body. And finally, the day of the draw, let's start with the day of the draw. Do it in the morning, or do it whenever the temperature. If the temperature is low, don't go in the early morning. You're going to be done when it's still cold. You want to be done when it's a good temperature of the day, when it's warmest, if you can afford to, set your schedule like this. And that will make, it a little bit better. Make sure you get sleep. You guys know this is the basics. I don't have to explain to you the day after what to do. Replenish what your body's hungry for. Drink a lot of water and get some sleep. It's so simple as, I don't know. I don't want to go on for 3 minutes to tell y'all that. I feel like y'all should already know that part. You don't need all the nutrition for that. You're past the storm. You can know what your body wants from that point. And the signaling and communication of your body is very important in this aspect. I get an intense hunger, so I know that my body is communicating well, because it needs protein, it needs fats, it needs calories right now. And I know that it does need that because I just drew blood. This really not that hard, y'all. So that's pretty much it. I recommend, so the study I quoted earlier, it did it over a year. I believe they did it like 10 times, the firefighter group that exchanged their plasma. I'm not, if it's the first time you've done it, I would go ahead and get 3 or 4 donations real fast, and then take a small little break. And that's because those donations in the beginning are going to have the largest marginal impact on your body. I mean, even if you go draw once, like, man, that's good. You really did a lot of health for not too long of a time. So you'll notice, like, each time, if it still feels good, that's kind of my advice. So you got to, again, listen to the communication of your body. And if your body's telling you, hey, I ain't going to do that today, listen to it. Don't go in here and cause an emergency and get these people in trouble because you're too stupid to, know your body. So that's all pretty much it, y'all. Oh, yeah. So the firefighters did it 10 times. I recommend to do it, like I said, 3 or 4 times in the beginning, and then maybe once every 3 or 4 or 5 or even 6 months. You don't have to do this a lot. It's and the least you do it, the more bang you're going to get for those sessions. So if you only do it twice, you're getting more out of your body pollutants than I would, even though I'm on my 8th or 9th or whatever. And that's because you're going to be saturated. I've had this a couple times, so now I've cleared the at least some of the PFAS, some of the microplastics and all that, heavy metals. So all the easy stuff is getting taken care of in that aspect. There's some other things I got to do later on to help that even more. And so that's pretty much it, y'all. If y'all have any questions, comments, concern, you're more than welcome to leave a comment down below. And y'all have a great day. Thank you.